It's now time for your starts and sits for week number 11 for CBS Local Sports. I'm Jamey Eisenberg. That's Dave Richard. That's Heath Cummings. All right, guys, hit me with a starting quarterback for this week.
How about Carson Wentz, who has been as rock solid as you could get at fantasy? 22 or more fantasy points in 6 straight games. He's going to throw a ton against New Orleans and that pass defense that just isn't very good. They're going to trail in this game. Carson Wentz might get you close to 30 fantasy points this week.
I am scared of Sunday Night Football, and I am sitting Kirk Cousins against a very good Chicago Bears defense. In fact, both the defenses in this game are good. I expect a low-scoring slugfest, more running from Dalvin Cook, less passing from Kirk Cousins.
I like both of those quarterback suggestions, and I love your running back start.
You got to start Phillip Lindsay. He's the start of the week, and that has been on fire. So has Phillip Lindsay. Yes, Royce Freeman's back. I don't expect they're going to give Phillip Lindsay less than 15 touches, and if he gets 15 touches, he gives you top 15 running back production.
You didn't draft Phillip Lindsay. You did draft Jordan Howard, and unfortunately, this is a week where Jordan Howard should not be in your lineup. Keep him on your bench, but don't get him off your team. Going up against Minnesota, terrible matchup. They allow 3.7 yards per carry to opposing backs and only 2 rushing touchdowns to running backs all season long. This is not going to be pretty for Howard, but the weeks to follow will be.
I know you guys do not like the Sunday night game, but what about the Monday night game?
I think there's going to be a lot of points in that one, so you're going to start everyone who's any good in that game, and that's going to include Sammy Watkins. And listen, we are due for a big game from Sammy Watkins. He's only had one of those in his last 5. It's going to be a high-scoring game. The Rams secondary is not very good. Sammy Watkins is going to go off.
I think Golden Tate's good too, but the Philadelphia Eagles didn't show that they did in their first game. Now, there's been some talk that he's going to be more involved in the game plan this week. I hope that he is. I hope we can start him after week 11, but I'm going to have to see it first, Doug Peterson.
I would agree with you on that. And what about a tight end to start this week?
Start Vance McDonald. This Jacksonville defense has not been as good as we expected, but they have been bad against tight ends almost all year long. They're going to focus so much attention on Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. I do think McDonald gets in the end zone.
But Jordan Reed won't, because he hasn't been since earlier this season. In fact, he's given you 6 fantasy points or less in 8 straight games, 10 fantasy points in PPR. 8 straight games. He's still starting in 61% of leagues. I guess he's okay in PPR, but in non-PPR, forget about it.
Reed has not scored since week number 1. All right, to recap, the guys we like this week: Carson Wentz, Phillip Lindsay, Sammy Watkins in the revenge game, and Vance McDonald. Guys we're avoiding this week: Kirk Cousins, Jordan Howard, Golden Tate, and Jordan Reed. These have been your starts and sits for CBS Local Sports for week number 11. Good luck in your matchups.